Hello, YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor. I don't know what we can call this. So I kind of made an executive decision for what little bit of time that I do have. It's going to be spent on the diorama because I need to get it done before Acme comes around. Anything else will just be a bonus to get done. I have a few that I can take to Acme that are already done, so I don't really have stress. I want to get Shorty done, don't get me wrong, but it's just limited time. I've got a family member that is very ill, that's requiring a lot of my attention, and it's travel, it's not local. So I just got back from South Carolina, and I'm going to have to make several more trips and down to Virginia to liquidate some of his assets and mine, because we're both owners of it. So, time is very limited. So I want to jump on here real quick. And first, I want a big shout out and thank you to William at Ruckus Rods and Customs. He was in town a couple weeks ago, and he came over on, I think it was a Saturday, Friday or Saturday. Spent some time here in the shop. We got to hang out and talk. It was a great time. I really appreciate him doing that. If you guys aren't subbed to him, get over to his channel. He's a really good builder. Very unique in the things that he does, and just an overall super nice man. And I look forward to going to SEMA with him either this year or next year, whichever I can get arranged. Probably be next year. Too much on my plate this year. And between all that, I have got a little stuff done, and we're going to turn around here and we're going to take a look at it. So keep in mind there is some touch up that needs to be done, but we started the foliage process. We got the ivy. It's kind of taken over everything, running along the roof lines, down the building, around and behind things. All the little white specks you see like in that's just the glue that hasn't dried yet all the way. We got our first gutter box on. We got to get it touched up and then weathered accordingly. And then we got to put our straps on it. We'll probably get like 2 straps on this section, and then we'll have a section that goes from here down into the barrel. We got our planter box. It is glued to the building. And then this flower box right here. Scratch built it's a hanging box. If you see, it's got the little hooks on the back. It'll get glued permanently in place once I'm ready to do so, but we can see the front of the red building, the ivy, and then the flower box is just, they're growing beautifully, blah, blah, blah. They're vining down like they're supposed to. And we've got a potted plant that goes along with several others that are kind of just sitting down here. These still have to be shaped. They allow you to bend them and move them around a little bit. So we got a nice little planter that goes there, and then our chessboard and everything's going to be here in this corner. And we got some planters to go over here, and there's one that goes up on the steps. So a lot of color on the inside corner there. And if we turn it around and put it kind of how it's supposed to go, not exact, but close to. Sorry guys. Now you can get down in here. You can kind of see my point of view looking down in there. Look up. And then the tree, once it was done, was too close to the red building, so we had to cut a section out, which you can kind of see right now. I'm slowly weathering it back in, and move the tree location down to here, and to give enough space. And when I say tree, here's the tree. I took one of our viewers' things, and kind of looks like a lemon tree. All the little Yellow balls there would represent lemons. Now that I don't know that an owl would live in a lemon tree, but who knows? We got our owl that's going to be taking flight out of the tree somewhere. He's just kind of sitting there for looks right now. But this tree only took, I don't know, probably about an hour and a half to make and shape. So you can see, you know, when you're looking at it, everything, the cutoff runs down through here. So nothing's hanging over. And we'll get dirt down around here and we'll put some flowers in around the bottom. Just add a little touch of color down there at the bottom. And got some more foliage there. I don't know what that goes to. But yeah, you can kind of see, you know, it's slowly starting to come together. Everything's going to get weathered a little bit more as far as the roofs and gutters and, you know, some work on the stone. We do have a little touch up on the stone to do here and there. Nothing major. And then, you know, you're going to have that big spot of purple over top of this whole trellis and coming up the front and hanging down over the top. And, you know, then other flowers and little planters that get mounted to the walls like here. And then there's a pot of flowers that's growing up over the handrail and coming down. So, yeah, we got, you know, there will get a spot of flowers here and there everywhere. And kind of really bring this to life. And then, of course, our fountain. So, special treat here. We were going to get the old fountain out. And we're going to put it in the center of the village. Now, like I said, this is subject to change because it's really close to the red building now. So we're going to move that over a little bit, but just to, without shaking too much. Bring it down there, you can see everything's kind of coming to life. There's stuff in here to last you hours to look at and see all the detail. Trust me. I mean, you get down in here and, you know, there's flowers in there. All the electric boxes and poles. I try to leave some of it exposed so you can actually see it. Where'd we go here? There we go. And some of it, hey, you're looking through a window. Some of it to be covered like, you know, a real vine would do. It would weave in and out and around behind. So I'm trying to keep all that in mind when I'm doing this, you know, and some stuff would just be hanging down, growing out of control, and, you know, they do their best to tame the beast of that ivy and keep it cut back and all that. So I wanted it to kind of look that way. We still have, I have some stuff I have to sprinkle on top of the ivy, which will add a little bit lighter and darker hues to it, and it'll look more like the leaves and everything on it too. But this all has to dry first, and then I'll do that, and everything makes a mess. This tree made a huge mess. It took a little while to clean it up. No big deal. That's why we have this big workbench. But yeah, our fountain's going to be more probably about right here, I would gather. I'll give you a real quick turnaround look. That's much more gooder. That's kind of where it'll probably sit. You know, because keep in mind, we got table and chairs to sit down here. We got a chess thing going on here, tournament, and we got all the people standing around. We got the musicians that'll probably be back here. And then, you know, other pieces. We got a phone booth. We got a fire hydrant. We got the villain, the truck itself to sit here. We have some Vespas. All the people in attendance and all the neighborhood people coming down and enjoying the day. So it's going to start getting really crowded. That's where I was saying before that I'm going to be very select on the people that I do use, because I don't want it to be overdone, but I want it to be like it would be in real, you know, you go to a block party, you know, there's 50, 60, maybe 100 people congregating in, you know, one little area. Well, we're not going to go to that extreme, but, you know, 15, 20 people, maybe down on the ground, another half a dozen up on the balconies, a few people out here at the end. Who knows? We got the delivery guys. We got the painters. You know, we got all that stuff to put in here. That's the main pieces. And we're not eliminating those. We just may eliminate the mass grove of people to a degree. Because I'm really liking the way it comes together. And I've set a few people out and kind of seeing. The people are really, they're not that big. They're kind of small. So they don't take up a lot of space. And so on and so forth. The next step is to get the gutter in. If you can see where my finger is. Here, because this gutter drops down into this gutter. And then it comes around and comes out. And it'll come down and tie into this downspout off of this gutter. So, like I said, I got overzealous and started the roof here. I'm going to pop some of these loose, get my gutter in there, get my gutter on here, and then I can finish this roof. And then I can get the vines done on that one, get my windows in, the other door in, get my little stoops cut and put in front of here, get our lights on, which each one of these gets a light underneath. And then, you know, once we get the building, everything's kind of done, like this one is kind of now, the red building. Then it's going to be time to get everything mounted to the base. And like I said, it's a 3-stage process. I got to groove holes in the bottom of this for the truck lights, the fountain. I got to cut grooves in the back here where you see wires sticking out. I got to get a groove across there so all the wires can be tucked in there. So the background fits flat up against there and flat up against here. I don't want no bulkiness or ugliness. Then it's glue this to the other base, and then that'll get glued to the plywood. That should secure everything, level everything, and then we can start gluing our buildings down, getting our, like you see a gap back here. That's just because they're not pulled in tight like they're supposed to be. They do fit together. You know, that's how I made it. And we'll get that hot glued in, and then we'll cover up any seams that look hideous. Blend everything in, touch it up. Sorry for all the jumping around there. I'm not the best cameraman in the world. Stuff put away here. But I really like the direction it's going in. You know, you got all the little key pieces. It's just really going to tie it in. The diorama is way over the top for just, you know, a little truck. Well, it's not really a little truck. It'd be a big truck. But still, you know what I'm saying? It's not. But I think all of it together kind of brings it around. The story. You know, there is a story to this. Even though I didn't get to talk to the gentleman and find out anything, I made up a story. And the story really fits. So we took the truck and we brought it back to Italy. We really couldn't keep the era of the 1950s. That's understandable. And that's just due to because there's not a lot of files out there for just people of the 50s, you know, where they'd be dressed in that era and, you know, little kids not zooming down the street wearing a pair of Nikes in the 50s. But the combination of the ones that I do have that kind of fit the 50s theme, they're old people. You know, they're older, so they're more old school. They don't go with the flow and the styles of clothing and everything else, you know, in today's era. They stick with what they know and what they have. That pair of trousers he's had for 30 years, and they still fit him, and they're still in good condition, so he's not going to go buy more pants. You know, so I'm just kind of playing it along that line there. And I think that, you know, it'll all fit together, and if it doesn't look right, we'll eliminate and then try something different in there. But most of the people have already been pre-selected, and they have a special spot and purpose in the diorama. Everything else is just a bonus. But so once these are kind of done, I can set these to the side like I've been talking about for weeks and months. Then I can concentrate on the base, you know, because we got to put grass down in these cracks and dirt, you know, in the road, and there's a lot of weathering and foliage and business to go on still. to add that realism to them. And there's gaps along the sides of the doors. We need to fill that in, and we got to touch up stone here and there, and a lot of little stuff. So that's why I made the executive decision, because it's mine, that I'm not going to fool with anything else right now. I have that secret project, and I will work on that come probably August, so I can have that done in time for the birthday. And I'm not lacking. Everything I need is here for it. So the main goal is what little bit of time I have in the shop is going to be dedicated to the diorama. I owe it to Ernest. I owe it to Norman and Lee, and to myself and all you guys that's followed me along this whole journey of building this thing to get it done and get it to Acme. And that's exactly what I intend to do. There is life exceptions, and it's very possible that life exception with the dying family member could keep me from any of it. So we're doing our best, and right now it's looking like I got like a day or two a week to be down here, and not very long. I'm talking a couple hours, so I got to make the most of it. So videos will be far few and in between. I appreciate everybody that watches them, takes the time, because I know some of them are long. And you watch them. That way you kind of get caught up and see the flowers. It's like this. This is the stuff I used. It's mixed up, and you just, it's not hard. I painted the flower box. I made the brackets to hang it. And then I started adding the vines and gluing them in. And once that was dry, then I started gluing all the vines, or putting glue all around the vines. And then I started sprinkling this stuff on. And even behind and, underneath, not leaving any gaps anywhere. Other than a little word there might be some dead spots, but make it look as realistic as possible. That's just hanging here by a thread. There we go. And then you come back over it with hairspray, which locks it all in. And then if I see any gaps, I spray it again with the hairspray and sprinkle some more on there, and that's it. And when it dries, it's dry. It's done. And then when I'm all done and moving stuff around, then I can hang or permanently glue onto the balcony rail. That way it doesn't fall back off. If you look up here, we got our vent stack in, and we got it weathered up pretty good. You see it's rusting down the side there. So yeah, and of course that vine's going to grow up and take up over top of the little roof access building. So once we get all the leaves sprinkled onto that ivy, that's really going to pop. So we got a light and dark shade of green, and then the color green that's already on it, that all should blend in very well. This is my lunch. Health-wise, I'm in good health. I don't know how much more weight I've lost. I've lost probably a few more pounds, but really haven't been focusing on anything particular. Like I said, with this, it's my uncle. He's more like a brother. So if you guys could keep him in your prayers. He had a light heart attack. Kidneys started failing then. Breathing issues. He got stubborn and hard-headed and went home, because that's the kind of man he is. And then had a stroke. Now he's paralyzed on his left side. And his kidneys are in complete failure. He has to have dialysis 3 days a week. 4 hours a day. And a slew of other medications to help with his breathing, his heart, his eyes. He can't hardly see anymore. And he's a man that, he's the toughest and strongest man I've known in my life. A fighter through and through. He's an amazing man. So please keep him in your prayers. It's going to suck to lose him. Because like I said, he has more been like a brother to me. Being 9 years difference, Hell, when he was 10, I was 2. He was messing around with me and rolling a ball to me and everything else when we were both just little kids. And we've been really close. It's my mother's brother. baby brother. And he's the only family member I have left on that side of the family. That's it, other than distant cousins that I really don't know. Like old Lucas C said, you know, keep gluing your fingers together, cutting that styrene. I have. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So let me know down in the comments what you think, especially about the red building and the natural color building. You know, any information I can get, or ways, tips, tricks to make anything better, let me know. Flood those comments. And I appreciate it. Thank you to all my past, present, and future subscribers. Hit that bell notification. That's when you know these videos come out. When I can get some sense of normalcy, we'll get back to the normal routine of, you know, 1 to 2 videos a week, every week. And we'll be back on our great builds and getting stuff done. And we're going to postpone some other things going into next year because we got a real big build going on. So, you know, I'm just making some changes because the projects that I'm going to be doing over the next couple of years are going to be big projects. And that's going to take time. I realize that now getting into this. So thank you for sticking with me through this. I appreciate you. Be looking for the next video. Again, get over there and follow Ruckus Rods and Customs. Mr. William got his card up here. I'll turn you around one more time. Right up there, guys. See that barcode? Let me hold you still. See if you can catch that, and that'll take you right to his channel. Super nice guy. Had a great visit with him again. William, I thank you. I appreciate you. That's why I always say my shop's always open. You just got to let me know if you're going to be in town. More than welcome to come over to see the shop. You know, everything I have. Sit down and conversate. So that's what it's all about, guys. So I look forward to the next person that swings in to see old Rusty Rotor's model car garage. Till the next video, guys, this is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.